Hey everybody, this is the 20-gallon tank I keep set up for my wife. And tonight we're going to do a little bit of basic maintenance on it. I'm going to be working on my upstairs tanks tonight. So I thought we would do a simple before and after. I'm not really going to get in here and do much in the way of like starting a chemi-clean treatment or anything like that. I know I keep talking about doing that in this tank. It really needs it. But I didn't really think much about all that tonight. I just want to come in here and do a water change. I'll probably, use the gravel vac and get a little bit of the mulm out of the corners and that sort of thing. In my upstairs tanks, I don't have access to my water changing hose like I do downstairs. So all of my upstairs tanks get the traditional, gravel vac with the 5-gallon bucket. And then I take it in and dump it down the, sink in the bathroom or down the toilet in the bathroom. And it's just your basic water change. So that's all we're going to do tonight is 5 gallons. I'm going to wipe the glass down. I'm going to do a filter change and probably get some of that crud and stuff out of there a little bit if I can get it out simply by vacuuming it. And by all that crud, I'm talking about all that stuff you can see all over the leaves and all over the rocks and everything. We got enough stuff growing on the glass, but there's a lot of stuff that's actually in the tank, and I'm hoping to get some of that out just by physically removing it with the siphon. But some of that stuff, you can see that sort of darker purpley looking stuff. That's the cyanobacteria, and that will get wiped out when I finally get around to doing a chemi-clean treatment in this tank. So not going to be a very elaborate video, just a simple before and after basic water change. But I don't shoot very much video of this tank, so I thought I would get in here and do a little bit while we were in here. So there's your before, and there's your after. So we are actually a day after we got in there and did the water change. As I was working on the tank, the lights went out. They're on a timer on this tank. And so I actually had to finish the last bit of the water change by the light in the room rather than the light in the tank. So I wasn't able to shoot any follow-up video. So here we are the next day, and the tank's still looking pretty good. I do need to get in there and do a more significant treatment than simply gravel vacuuming everything out. It's pretty cruddy in there. It's been a long time since I've done any kind of maintenance like that or a chemi-clean treatment on this tank. I did get in with my thumb and forefinger and wiped the leaves down while I was using the gravel vac, and I basically just sucked all the stuff right out as it wiped off the leaves. But you can see I can't really get in there and do that to everything everywhere. I did siphon a bunch of junk up off the bottom and a bunch of mulm and stuff that had collected up in the corner. This Anubias right there is not really rooted into anything. It's just kind of sitting there. Excuse me. It's just kind of sitting there, and mulm and all kinds of crud just kind of collects in the root system. You can see I clearly didn't get all of it, but I got a lot of it. And I got a bunch of it out of the little nooks and crannies. There's a little pocket right down in there that collects a lot of mulm and stuff. So I got a bunch of that crud out. And you can actually see the gravel around most of the rest of the tank. So I did a pretty good job. I'm not crazy about the new lighting in this tank. I just put new LEDs in here. And they are 4,000K, or they're supposed to be 4,000K. They look closer to 3,000 to me. It's a little soft for what I was expecting, and by soft I mean it's got a little more of a reddish color to it than I was hoping for. I was wanting a little bit more blue, but that's okay. It's just kind of a side note. That's not really a criticism or anything, just kind of making conversation as we look at the tank. So I will be getting in here at some point in the fairly near future and doing a chemi-clean treatment. And we'll talk more about that when I do the treatment. It's not a big deal. It's something I do from time to time in some of my tanks, and this is certainly one of them. This is the tank, as I said at the beginning of the video, that I keep set up in my wife's room. And I used to call it my wife's tank, and the playlist actually still is my wife's tank, but I can't title any of my videos that, because if I title the video my wife's tank, it gets demonetized. I don't know what YouTube's algorithms think the video is going to be about, but they definitely don't allow me to monetize it if I title the video anything to do with my wife's tank. So this is my wife's tank, and I don't get in here very much. Again, I just do the maintenance and whatnot. She does all the daily feeding and sitting in here and enjoying the fish, and then I do the occasional water change. And when I do, it always reminds me and how I really need to get in here and do maintenance more frequently. It's really kind of out of sight, out of mind. I don't get in here often enough. Anyway, like I said, just kind of making conversation as we look at the tank. Not a lot to talk about. Simple water change, wipe the glass down, vacuumed a bunch of crud out, changed the filters, and here we are. So make sure you're subscribed. That way you won't miss anything I got coming up. We will be actually doing some work on this tank, as I keep saying, and we'll get to see a little bit of a before and after that makes more of a significant difference. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss that or anything else. So thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you real soon in the next one.